Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenyan Revolutionary for another quick session. I am not going to be here for long, and I know I've been off a few days. I'm just going to be sporadically making videos or going live because there's nothing much going on in Kenyan politics. I know some of you love the drama about, whatever is going on with Gachagua, Babu Owino, Sifuna, all this choreographed nonsense that is designed to entertain the people and distract people and make people think about, how this whole convoluted uh, electoral process is designed in Kenya. But it's all for confusion and for your entertainment and for your distraction and to, keep you there, like just make you lull you into believing that, oh, come 2027, we are going to have a real elections where we shall elect real leaders. But we all know the game. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comments, my name is Kenya Revolutionary. I'm here to bring you another session where I want to talk about something that is interesting. Raila Odinga announces Kenyan digital token, a coin that we shall be used for those cryptocurrency people that love crypto, um, love crypto trading or whatever the case is. This is for you, but I'm not going to talk about the coin itself. I'm going to talk about the fact that Raila actually made this announcement, which left a lot of people bewildered. Uh, People are just like, what is going on? Why is Raila making this announcement? Is it a real video? Was he hacked? Is this AI? Like, that's the debate that's going on, actually, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. We shall get to it. And I want to actually mention something, possibilities, and a bigger implication of what this means, okay? Politics and world politics as it relates to Kenya. I'm your political dietitian. So please take a seat, subscribe, share, comment, do all the good stuff, and join the fun. I'm your political dietitian. Go ahead and subscribe. And if you've already subscribed and you're an ardent follower of this channel, you know the first order of business to like the video. I've been away for a while, but I'm here with you. Don't worry about it. Life happens. I can't come in as much as I used to because, I got stuff going on. And also, to be honest with you, there's nothing really that moves me to speak about an issue except this one. So I had to come here and talk about Raila Odinga. Now, let's get to the issue without wasting any time. Raila Odinga. If you go to his official Twitter handle or X page, as we call it now, he has a video out there talking about this whole the unveiling. It's not available yet, but it will be available. It will be available soon. A Kenya digital token. Um, of course, Raila tells us in the video that it's going to be, good for the young people. It's leading in, I don't know, value of exchange, uh, just a bunch of nonsense, that the usual nonsense that you always hear from Raila Odinga. Okay, how this is going to help Kenyans, especially the youth, in trading, because that's where the world is moving. Which he has, there's points to that. Now, let me just give you guys a quick background, not background of cryptocurrency or this digital token, but it's not unusual for countries now that are moving to this digital, currency, whatever the case is, because you saw that a few months ago, Donald Trump also came out and announced, okay, Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, came out and announced the Fed's version of, the American version of the digital token that the U.S. will have, the Feds will have, okay, where you can, I don't know if it's already launched or he launched it or whatever the case is. I didn't pay much attention because that's not what really interests me. But Donald Trump actually had a press conference and announced it. It will be unveiled where we shall have digital tokens for the U.S. So Kenya has announced its own through this video. Now, To me and to majority of Kenyans on X Spaces, Meta world, or the internet world, as you are, virtual world, as you might call it, which is basically where people meet nowadays and talk about stuff, especially politics, as I'm doing right now, making a video, communicating with you who's listening. We're just scratching our heads and saying, okay, Kenya is going to launch a digital token. And of course, there's a video of Kabogo, who is the ICT CS, okay, who made a video about this, announcement about this a few months ago. He didn't launch it. He didn't say Kenya was going to have it, but he was basically explaining the necessity of having a digital token. Now, it is not that we are surprised that Kenya is so advanced, is catching up with the world, is going to be first among African nations to have this digital token. That's not the issue here, okay? We are not questioning that. That's not in dispute here, okay? What is surprising majority of Kenyans is that this is actually being announced. The person who is announcing this, Raila Amolo Odinga, not because he's old, not because of his political affiliation or whatever the case is, but what's his position, or who is he, in what capacity is he acting on to come up and address the nation or address the world in that matter, for that matter, to announce this Kenyan digital token? Like, who is he? Is he one of the brains behind this whole idea of having a Kenyan digital token? Is he speaking on behalf of the government of Kenya? And if he's doing so, what is his position in this Kenyan government? Because last time we were told, he told us very clearly that he's not part of this government. If there was an announcement of some sort, the person who was supposed to actually make this president of Kenya, or Mbadi, who is the CS for Treasury, okay? It would have made sense if it is the president or Mbadi as the CS of Treasury, or whatever the case is, Minister of Treasury, as we now call it, CS, to come out and make a video press conference or whatever the case is, to tell us, hey, listen, we are going, in the future, we are going to launch a digital token where, you know, we can trade in crypto, whatever, okay? Crypto money, whatever, triple coins, crypto world, whatever, right? That would have been the person to actually make that announcement. But no. Raila Odinga. And we are questioning, the Kenyans are questioning, in what capacity? Like, who is he? Are you the Minister of Finance that we don't know about? Are you the new CS of Treasury that we don't know about? Are you the real president of Kenya that we don't know about? What is your position in this? Like, who are you? That's why some people are saying he's been hacked. This is all AI. The video is not real. Which makes it even more funny, because it's like the people don't believe this. This is like we are being tricked. We are being punked. I'm expecting Ashton Kutcher to jump out of the bushes and tell us, oh, you've been punked. So that's what the Kenyans are actually wondering. What's going on? Like, what is going on? Why is Raila making announcements about Kenyan digital tokens? Like, who is he? Who are you, Raila Odinga? You see what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Am I making sense, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters? Someone help me in the comment section. Or if you're going to watch this or repeat, please tell me if this is AI, this was a hacking job that went on. What's really happening? What's really going on? I'm just as confused as you are, because the Kenyan people are wondering, what is going on? Why is Raila Odinga having a press conference, shooting a video, posting it? It's still on his official Twitter page. You can go look at it, because people are saying he's hacked. That's what people are saying. We've been hacked. But it's the crypto people who are trying to use Raila Odinga or Raila Odinga's image to, to announce this whole idea of having a Kenya digital token, okay, a crypto coin for Kenya. It's the crypto people who hacked on his official page and posted that video that is AI generated. It is a way of them marketing this crypto digital coin, token, whatever. Okay? That's what people are saying. So there's a huge debate about that. I don't know if this video is real. Actually, the official Githeri media, mainstream Githeri media is actually posting it like as on it's official. That's him. That's basically Raila Odinga posting it, saying it. So my question is, like many others, if it's true, who is Raila Odinga to actually make that announcement? Who is Raila Odinga? I'm still waiting. I'm still open to be corrected. If it's AI, if his account was hacked and this was AI generated video, please post it on my Kenya Revolutionary channel on X and also on YouTube comments after this video, or you can put it on the chat right here, and I'll highlight it. Because this is unreal. This is unreal. Now, here's the thing, though. The truth of the matter is this. We are going to move to digital currency in the future. Let me not say in the future. I'm speaking like I'm in 1975. We are actually in the digital age. And there's Bitcoin and there's different digital token that people use. You hear people in crypto world who have made millions trading and doing all sorts of stuff through digital currency, okay? We are already there. So the announcement of it is not so much of a big deal. But the question is, who is behind this thing? Because actually, from my understanding, they were saying this is not actually an official governmental digital token by the government, from my understanding. So there's a lot of skepticism behind this whole Kenya digital token, okay? And who, by all accounts, many people consider him a political con man, okay? They do not trust him. Of course, there are some people who think, oh, he's still this great politician, but no. He lost the little legitimacy that he had. He lost it when he stood up there and had a press conference and looked straight in the camera and told the Kenyan people that Adani was a good company, that has a good track record. For those of you who don't know Adani, please just go to your Googles. There's plenty of evidence of Adani actually, shortchanging not only their country of origin, India, Bangladesh, name it, all the Australia. In fact, the owners have active arrest warrants in the US because of their fraudulent activities they've been involved in. Okay? But this is a company that Raila Odinga came and told us, we the Kenyan people, that Adani is a wonderful country. Adani is a wonderful company that should run our airports. Okay? Now, this is the very guy who's coming up and announcing this KDT, Kenya Digital Token. And some people are thinking, hey, listen, this might be a scam. This is another Ponzi scheme. This is a scam. In fact, they're even questioning the very video of Raila Odinga making that speech. They're saying it's AI generated. There's no way. His account has been hacked. Some people think this is a huge, big joke. And the debate is still raging on. I have no way of verifying this. So for those of you who are savvy in the news media, fact finders, please do so and enlighten us on what's real. Now, there's a good possibility that it's real because, like I mentioned, the ICT CS Kabogo mentioned this a couple of months ago, that we are going to have a digital token in Kenya. Let me say Kenyan digital token, okay? So this is not something that, but now, here's what I want to touch on, okay? Because I won't be here for long, so I'm trying to keep this as short as possible, as pithy as possible, okay? Now, if indeed, let's go with this assumption, if indeed this is real, that Raila made a video announcing that soon Kenya shall have its own digital token. Let's assume it's real. The first question is, what is Raila's role in this government of Kenya? Because to me, I'm starting to have a bigger question. I'm starting to question who this Raila Odinga is, his influence within the Kenyan political arena, or arena, as most of you call it. You understand? Now, the reason why I say that is this. For somebody who does not have a particular designated, constitutionally designated position in this current government administration of William Samoei Ruto, he sure has a lot of influence. And this is not the first time. You understand what I'm saying? This is not the first time this guy is doing this, is pulling this. We can go way back since, we already know. I'm just going to walk you through very, very quickly so I can bring you to the present. When Moi made him the Secretary General of KANU, or whatever the case is, then he dipped. He left Moi once he realized that that sink was shipping. Joined Kibaki, was within Kibaki's government. Kibaki fired him after Kibaki started messing up. He ran for president, challenged Kibaki in 2007. He won. We went to 2013. He lost. Really calling the shots from the forest. 2017 comes along. He runs again. He wins. Uhuru tries to bulldoze himself, to Ikulu. Raila, through his influence and the people's will, stands up, causes chaos. He even swears himself in, with the help of Miguna, of course, to be the people's president. And after skirmishes and all this stuff, we know what's happened. He gets into a handshake, and all of a sudden, he is part of the government, not officially, but he's part of the shadow government. Even people close to Uhuru are saying they are no longer, getting phone calls from Uhuru. They cannot reach Uhuru Kenyatta. It's like Raila is calling the shots. Fast forward 2022, Ruto wins the presidency. Okay, whether you want to dispute that or not, that's not even a matter of point of contention here. Okay, Ruto wins the elections. Raila stands up and say, "Oh, no, I won." He says it's okay. I'll go to the court. They go to the court. The court upholds the decision by the IBC that Ruto won. Raila says, "Hey, I want something akin to that Kofi Annan nonsense." Okay, and soon he gets Maina Njenga, Gaucho, and all the non-busybodies to cause chaos in the streets of Nairobi and other parts of Kenya. And all of a sudden, Ruto agrees to a NADCO report, which basically is the blueprint for the BBI, Government of National Unity. Before you know it, we have this broad-based government where Raila brings his relatives and friends to join to be part of the Ruto administration, which was democratically elected by the people, but Raila ameingia through the back door. And now we can see there are some decisions that are being made that are actually coming from Raila Odinga. Now, here is my conclusion. If this thing is real, and I want to jog your mind or just tickle your curiosity or awaken your curiosity, could it be that Raila Odinga, Amolo Odinga, is the shadow president of the Republic of Kenya? He has been the president, the real president of Kenya, since Moi came from office. I will repeat it. Oh, you don't hear me. You don't hear me. I know. Call me crazy. I'm okay with that. You won't be the first one thinking that I'm crazy. But I'll take you through this journey. I just explained to you what I was talking about. Walk with me through this journey. I'll walk with you. No, ask yourself this. Could it be that Raila Amolo Odinga is actually the shadow president of the Republic of Kenya since Moi left? I'll do it again because you guys at the back didn't hear me. I'll walk with you. One more time, one last time for the people at the back. Could it be that Raila Amolo Odinga is actually the real president of Kenya since Moi left? Now, for those of you, and this might not be for everyone, for those of you who have been in the advanced class, you've always had, especially the American politics. Let me just take you to the American politics. Have you ever heard of people who talk about there's a shadow government? Okay? The military industrial complex. The people who actually run. These are real stuff that what's that president during World War II? What was that president during World War II of America? Who actually coined the term military industrial complex? Have you ever heard of JFK talking about the shadow government, the secret government? Okay, the powers that be that are actually behind what is perceived as the power at hand. Okay, the so-called deep state. I know a lot of Kenya calls it deep state, use that word loosely, but actually starts from what's his name? That guy who was deep throat during Nixon administration. I forgot his name. He has a book called Deep Throat, actually. You remember him? I forgot his name. He usually comes on different TV programs. Have you ever heard of that term? The deep state. The deep state. The people behind the power, the official power. I'm taking you there. It's still connected, ladies and gentlemen. It's connected. Don't worry about it. This is all connected. Just follow me through. I won't stay here for long. Follow me for a minute. I won't be long. Listen to me. Subscribe, like the video. Thank you very much. There's the government in place, okay, which we think is the official government. Then there's the deep state, the real power, where the real power resides. The people who actually determine the policies of the day. You understand what I'm saying? Who are these people? The people who actually own the feds, okay? The people who actually are behind the United Nations, the people who are behind this globalist agenda, UN, and all this stuff, okay? Those are the people who I'm talking about. But anyway, to take it back to Kenya, because listen, this is being done all over across the world, okay? Where you have the government in place, the government of the day, of course, with the exception of a few, but most governments that are supported by the West, that are aided, abated and put in place by the West, they always have this layering. Okay? You have the government who the people think that they voted for. In this Kenyan, in the case of Kenya, we have the government who we thought we voted for. Let's use Ruto, for example, okay? He's the guy who we voted for. We went to the elections, we voted, and he won, okay? Fair and square, whatever the case is. Of course, there's people who are saying, okay, it wasn't fair and square. But like, again, park that argument on the side for a minute. I want to make a bigger point than that, okay? So there's that government of the day that we think is that democratically elected government, administration of the day, which is run by Ruto. Okay? But Ruto is merely a caretaker. Okay? He's the caretaker. Okay? Yeah, Koapo too. Yes, he was voted by the people. But he has to take his instructions. He has to take, not his instruction, but he has to take instructions from who? The real people who hold power, the shadow government. Now, the layer in place is this. Ruto is there as the democratically elected president, okay? Of course, we can argue otherwise because we know how unpopular he is right now, but that's not where I want to. Just follow me where I'm going with this, okay? So he's the government of the day that was democratically elected, okay? But then there is a shadow government that actually implements the policies of the day. They get to determine what direction Kenya takes, how the future of Kenya is going to be. Now, within this shadow government, that's where I believe Raila Amolo Odinga plays a pivotal role. He does not have to have an official position, okay? But they both have one boss. Listen to me very carefully. I'm walking you through this, okay? There's Ruto, who is democratically elected. Raila, who is running this shadow government. But both their bosses is the British Crown. Haven't you wondered why Raila Odinga keeps on reminding us that he's very close friends with King Charles? Now, let me give you an example. Listen to me, just follow me with this, okay? Let me give you another example. Remember, let's start with Uhuru Kenyatta. I want to tackle this too. I can even go back to Kibaki. When Kibaki started messing up, and when Kibaki lost the elections, okay, Kibaki started well, okay? I believe Kibaki had good intentions. He started with free education. Economy was vibrant. At least it was better after 24 years of being shackled by Moi's failed economic policies. So when Kibaki came in, he was a breath of fresh air. Okay, we had free education and all that stuff. Economy was doing well. Then, of course, we know the story. He started messing up. And I want you to think about it. Before Kibaki became president, something happened to him. What happened to him? He got into an accident. But anyway, let me not sound like a conspiracy theorist, which I am, but anyways, let me take you through. When Kibaki became very, very unpopular, and Kibaki became president, refused. The violence happened. 1,500 people or more died. Okay. Kofi Annan and all the international community. I remember Condoleezza Rice. She flew in, jetted in Nairobi with the high heels, sat down and told those two boys, "Hey, listen, boys, get it together. This is the message from George Bush at the time. Get it together. I'm not going to babysit you guys. You guys are grown. figured it out. But anyway, they used Kofi Annan, the former president of Ghana, Okafor, I think that's his name, Kafor or something his name, who's a Freemason, but that's not where I'm going with this. But anyway, the international community with Judge Kriegler and all the rest came in and intervened, and there was a constitution drafted, and there was a government of national unity. Okay? Now, this was to put Raila in a party to do. Okay? Even though Kibaki still, had the dominant side of government. Okay? Nani alikuwa tuna red carpet and all this, but Kibaki caught, the message was sent to Kibaki that, hey, listen, we understand that you're trying to develop Kenya as an African nation, but don't get it twisted. We have a real boss. Your real boss is here. This is the policies that we want you to do. You cannot come up with free education. You cannot continue with this, whatever healthcare. We get to tell you what kind of policies you have to renew. So fast forward, Uhuru Kenyatta comes in. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta comes in. Uhuru, we already know the Kenyatta's link with the British. But Uhuru, he came in, he wanted to be president, he was drinking, whatever the case is. But there was a time, if you remember, Uhuru was really trying to be close with the Chinese government. You remember that? He was even recklessly talking. He was like, you know what, we don't have to look at the West for help. We can always turn to the Chinese. He says things like that. So come the next election, in 2017, again, he was reminded of who is the real boss. I'm not talking about Raila Odinga being the boss. Raila Odinga is always the plan B for the British crown or the West. In case the stooge in place starts misbehaving, Raila Odinga is always at the background. Any substitute, okay? For those of you who play soccer. So the major substitute, okay? You can have Ronaldo as number 9, but if Ronaldo messes up for Portugal, there's always Leao who can come in and play that position, or they can be whatever, you name it, okay? There's name any Portuguese players that can play a striker there, whatever, or Messi, whatever the case is. Messi's Argentinian. But anyway, you get my point. So Raila Odinga is the substitute. So when Uhuru started messing up, talking about this Chinese talk and all this stuff, taking loans from Chinese, doing all this Chinese stuff, he was reminded during the elections. And when he started to, he wanted to stick to power, again, remember, the people who brought those people together, Raila and Uhuru, was the British High Commissioner at the time and the American ambassador, who actually, through back-channel diplomacy, talked about the handshake. They actually brought this handshake into fruition. Okay, we are just being told it was Paul Mwangi and Raila's daughter who went and signed the deal. Remember, they went to sign a deal. So mnakumbuka your handshake. Now, ask yourself, what was exactly being signed? Your handshake, when it was being signed, what was it? What was being signed? Because Kenyans didn't get to see that document. Sisi tuliambiwa tu, okay, they went and signed something. Paul Mwangi, who is Raila's personal lawyer, went up there with Winnie and met up with Uhuru Kenyatta and his lawyers and whatever the case is, with the Attorney General at the time, whatever Githurai, whatever his name is, who gives whatever, okay? And they signed a document which actually we refer to as the handshake, okay? Now, fast forward, 2022, okay? Ruto becomes president, Remember Ruto when he met with the Iranian president, when the Iranian president came to Kenya, and the West were not happy about that. That was within the first year of his rule, okay? And Ruto was talking all that talk about fertilizer, production increase, whatever. He was talking all that good stuff, okay? But then Raila started noise. Because initially Raila was, okay, nimekubali defeat, whatever, I'll respect what the court imesema, whatever the case is, okay? But 5 months after the court has decided that Ruto ameshinda, all of a sudden Raila Odinga kamka kaanza kusema ati, oh, no. We did something akin to that Kofi Annan renewal. You understand? Long behold, usarakasi ukaendelea. Okay, Naduko failed. Then the Gen Zs went to the streets. Then after the Gen Zs, Raila kajifanya tiraenda AU hapa. Remember when they met in Mombasa? And they signed that MOU that now we are meant to believe at in the MOU between ODM and UDA. What was the actual document? Because about the actual document was signed at Mombasa when Nani Alirudi from AU. Remember, when Raila lost from the AU seat, alienda sijui, where was that? Mozambique, one of these countries, or somewhere to have fun for a while, tukaona picha yake na Ida. Then he landed in Mombasa, where Ruto was actually in Mombasa also. And you could remember, unakumbuka vile the TV cameras were showing us the way they were meeting. Raila was having white pants and some beach shirt and a fedora, okay? Akakutana na Ruto, wakasalimiana ni kama brothers that had never left each other, okay? Then there's a document that they signed. That document that they signed, we don't know what it was. We don't know the contract that these two individuals entered into. Then a week after that, that's when they met at KICC, where we were being told that this is a MOU between Azimio and not Azimio, but UDA and what's there? ODM, right? Remember that. So the question is, what was signed? What was in the contract? Because this seems to be a contract between two people. No one was consulted. The nation wasn't consulted. The country wasn't consulted. The Gen Zs who died who actually were causing it. And also, not only that, remember, I want you to pay attention again. Okay? Pay attention here. When the Gen Zs, that very day, when was it? June 25th, 2024, okay? When the Gen Zs were almost overthrowing Ruto, remember what Oscar Sudi said. As idiotic as he might sound, or you might think he's crazy, or whatever the case is. Remember what Raila himself said. What did he say? That the military were actually considering taking over from Ruto. Ruto was going to be removed from power. Why? Could it be because he wasn't aligning himself with the West, his policies, or anti-West? No, go look at it. No, listen, this is not conspiracy. Go look it up. Raila came out later and told us that the military was going to take over power. And he had to step in to actually rescue Ruto, right? Right? And Oscar Sudi also, in one of his rants, he also came out and said that the military was about to take power from Ruto. We were about to have a military rule. Okay? Now, here's the question that I want to pose to you. Okay? Why is it that every elections, Raila loses, but somehow, after some kind of chaos, he comes in and he has some undefined role in the administration of the day. And it's more powerful than anybody else. In fact, I would argue more powerful than the actual president, sitting president. Like literally right now, Raila Odinga can do whatever he wants. Ruto is at his mercy. That's why Ruto has to keep on feeding him, doing whatever he wants, because he's basically the president. Same thing with Uhuru Kenyatta in 2017 after the whole mess, whatever the case is. When Raila came in, Raila basically took over power, and what Uhuru was doing basically was keep on feeding. His whole thing was keep on feeding Raila Odinga, keep him happy. Okay, but anything that Raila wanted, he got it without any question. Of course, Raila didn't care much about the looting, whatever the case is, that Uhuru and Ruto were doing during their tenure, last 10 years, because at the end of the day, as long as he gets his cut, he's okay with it. But Raila was actually the de facto president of Kenya. And this has been going on since 2008. So now that's why I'm bringing it back to the announcements of KDT. I mentioned that when the US was announcing the digital token, it was the president who came out. But Donald Trump came out and announced that, hey, United States will have their own digital token, whatever. And he announced that as the head of state. Okay? Here we are in Kenya. Not even the president made the announcement. Not even the treasury, head of treasury, who's Mbadi or whatever the case is. Not even the president's, spokesperson or spokeslady or whatever the case is, did not come out to say that, hey, listen, we are going to have a digital token in the future. Raila Odinga comes out and mentions it. As who? What position is he? Who is he in this government? Because he says he's not in the government. ODM are not in the government. Remember that, right? That's what he's telling you. He's telling you ODM is not in the government. But he mentions Kenya is going to have a digital token. As who? What's his position in the Ninio? He doesn't have a defined role in this government. That's why I'm saying Raila could be the de facto president of Kenya and has been since 2008. So every time you elect a president, whether it's, of course, we didn't elect those people because we know they lost. But what I'm saying is this. The real power still lies with Raila Odinga. He is the real stooge of the West. Also, also Ruto and all these people. But Raila Odinga is kind of the chaperone. Because if it wasn't for Odinga, with that handshake in 2017, Uhuru would have not been president. If it wasn't Raila Odinga stepping in June 25th, 2024, Ruto will not be president right now. The military could have been the president. Would have been having doing the administrative work in Kenya, ruling. Okay? But Raila stepped in. Why did he step in? What kind of power does he have to actually have the authority that he has to calm things down? Think about it. This guy is actually the real shadow president of Kenya. It's not even up for an argument. Mabri, I see you. Good evening. Okay, labani na kuona pia hapo. Sorry, you guys always come in like late when I'm almost finishing. Is the understand now mnaingia, but it's okay. Okay, so what I'm saying is this: the whole concept. Listen to me. The whole concept of the shadow government, which is done everywhere in the world. Okay, especially the countries that are being led by Western-controlled sub-Saharan countries. Okay, there's always the shadow government. For example, let's use South Africa, for example. We know that, what's his name? Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa is being controlled by the West. Okay? But, what's his name? The guy for EFF. The EFF guy. What's the name of the EFF? Julius Malema. Julius Malema is the guy who is in the background ready to take over if Ramaphosa messed up. But Julius Malema is also a sellout. Majority of people don't know this. This guy receives money from the Queen of England back in the day. DJ Moja, I see you though. Sorry, DJ Moja, I'll bring the debates. I'm just, life is lifing, okay? So I can rarely, I rarely have time to come on. So today niliona lilingia kidogo, lakini nitaleta debate jamani. What happened to Malawi is exactly what happened in Kenya. All right, let me see. Okay, yeah, Malawi president. No, Malawi is a little bit different. I see what you're saying, Mabri. I see what you're saying. I know that some people are saying that, okay, people will vote out. Actually, Malawi have just voted an 85-year-old, an 85-year-old president. Someone who's like 3 years older than Raila Odinga. DJ Moda, I haven't seen you for a while. Nice seeing you. The next time I'll come in, I'll probably try to make it a debate so you guys can come in and muingie hapa mtoe ninio yenu. Labana anatuambia 2 term. I'm not saying that, by the way, when I say 2027, to Mabri's point, Mabri amesema 2027 itakuwa kama Malawi. And I'm saying probably not, because it's different dynamics as far as the political dynamics in Malawi is a little bit different from Kenya, okay? I'm not saying Ruto will win. Actually, let me say this. If it stays this way, if we do not have a popular revolution like Nepal, William Ruto is going to win 2027. Why is he going to win in 2027? Not because he's going to be voted in as the legitimate president, but it is because he already has the IBC. Okay, he has the IBC in his hands. Paul Mwite today, I listened to a snippet of his speech during Safina party, and he mentioned that Gen Zs should be on the streets right now because of the looting that is happening. Okay, 10,000. Sorry, I don't know how many 100 teachers were going to the state house, were going to pay us 10,000 each, which comes out to, I don't know, 100 million or whatever the case is. That is looting. Where's that money coming from that Ruto anapatia walimu? So basically, Paul Mwite was saying that Kenyans should be on the streets. The Gen Zs should be in the streets. Okay? And what I'm saying is this. I've been saying this not only by myself, I, along with others of like-minded people, have been saying that we need a Nepal to happen in Kenya. We are not going to have any change if we don't have a Nepal. Tukienda hivi 2027, Ruto is going to win mapema. Not because he's the popular president, it is because he has all the linear of power, levels of power. Akona IBC kwa mkono, akona Raila, who I've told you is the shadow president of Kenya. Literally, this guy is the shadow president of Kenya. And him announcing this whole Kenyan digital token just confirms it. Okay? Because there's no way, I don't see any reason why he should come. What is the position in this government? We'll go which way. Laban is saying, we don't care which way, so long as he wins. Want Baba to be happy until death. Okay, well, okay. Sawa, hiyo ni maoni yako pia. Okay. Yeah, so Malawi, they have a new president. They voted in a president who is, I think is like 3 years older than Raila Odinga. But hey, that's democracy. If they want to, even if they want to vote in a dead person, that's democracy. They voted, okay? So it is what it is. But yeah, so that's what I was saying. But let me see what Nani anasema hapa is. I have some interesting take. Mabri anasema the outgoing president was a pastor. He was crying in churches like Kasongo. His financial policies ndio zimemtoa. Kenya will not have an Nepal moment. Mambo ya street demos don't expect soon. Okay. Fair point. Amesema mambo ya street tusahau kabisa. He may. Okay, good point. You may be right. I don't know. What has happened in Malawi is exactly what will happen in 2007. Yeah. Laban Mesiana anasema 2 term. Okay, yeah. So many 2 term na mambo ingine. You have the right. But yeah, guys, like I was saying, as much as we, again, if you were to have a fair, verifiable, transparent elections, as the Constitution states, Ruto will be out. But this is Kenya, okay? Remember, these are the guys who we had a constitution at place, and these guys could not pass Chapter 6, Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, but they still bulldozed their way and ran for president, rigged themselves in, and they served for 10 years. So what makes you think that the fact that Ruto is very unpopular, atashindwa? You know, he's going to win, you know, not because he's popular, but because he has all the linear of power. He has usurped power from all independent, constitutionally independent institutions, all branches of power, the judiciary, legislative body, executive, of course, and he has the police and the army. So you can't defeat me, okay? The only way to defeat him is to have a Nepal. And that might not happen, as Mabri is telling us, Mambaya street demos election. So if that's true, then hey, we'll have Ruto for 2027. Ninio anatuambiaje? Laban Misiana anatuambia Nigeria also voted for old Gen Z, have no room for African politics. Okay, all right. Sawa Mabri. Haya, hiyo ni maoni yako lakini ni sawa. Tinubu, I mean. Tinubu Tinubu is something else. Tinubu, apparently Tinubu, I don't know how he passed his background, but he became the president of Nigeria. I don't know if he wants fair and square, but now he's worried about his, apparently during the 1970s when he was in the US, he had a drug charge, and he's been paying everybody to not to reveal that, that information, because that might disqualify him, okay? So we don't know. We'll see. Okay, Mabri is telling me he will join next debate. We unpack this. Kenya has given up to fate. Sawa, good point. I'll make sure that I'm in a studio setting so I can bring you guys, so that DJ Moda Pia Ingia, I haven't seen him for a while. I hope he's doing well. Mabri Pia. And also Labani, my friend, who sees things differently, way different. I see you. And everybody else who's been watching in the background, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I have to leave it here. Okay? But think about it. And you guys tell me, was that a real video of Raila Odinga actually making an announcement of the soon coming Kenyan digital token? Or was he hacked? Or was that an AI video? And if it was true, what is his position? Or who was he to announce that Kenya is going to have a Kenya digital token? On what capacity? As who? Who is Raila Odinga in this administration? That's what Kenyans are wondering, okay? But anyway, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and enemies and comrades. My name is Kenya Revolutionary. Again, Laban, Mabri, everybody who's been watching at the back quietly on repeat, like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Next time I'll open up for debate so we can have this exchange, and maybe you guys can give me your views and to unpack it as Mabri puts it. Amana mnagani. All right, peace and blessings, and I will see you guys later. I'm out.